Hey, everybody!
What's up?
It is episode 5. Episode 5 of the Thursday Exchange.
Sorry
What you
about
doing over there, making all that noise?
Hitting the wrong button.
So tonight we have a very, very interesting discussion.
Yes,
We're
we
going to
do.
be really focusing on dreams and the causes of dreams and how they, affect our life, how they kind of lead our lives at times. And
interpretations of it.
yes. And before we get into all that, we wanted to make an announcement. We're going to have a very special guest tonight, the very talented Billboard charting musical artist, Lavari. He's also an actor, man of many talents. We're going to get into his head tonight, ask some really thought-provoking questions. So I'm really excited about that. But man, oh man, as everyone knows when we watch this show, it's been a week.
Yes.
It's been a week.
Let me consult my notes of insanity here. So just a few stories that have happened over the past week is everybody's seen the Biden meme that's been going around. Well, it turns out that they've actually been able to raise
Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, Bernie Sanders. Sorry. They're able to raise $1.8 million of charity by using those memes in different ways and like having like little contests and like likes and all that.
There is so many funny memes with him. Like there's like him with the mittens like wrapped around Conor McGregor as he gets knocked out.
Got Yoko Ono's husband, like the Beatles guy, like hugging up against him.
It's really freaking funny. Whoever started it, God bless him.
Yeah, well, when I saw him on the news, I was just like, oh, he looks really cold. I didn't think it would turn into a meme.
You think about how cold it is in Washington, D.C. in January, standing up where they are with wind gusts and everything. It's freezing. Deck. Exactly. But, whether you love them or hate them, this is charity event. Positive things coming from comedy.
Exactly. And another bit of news, we just want to thank everybody for all your support. I mean, we've like quadrupled our likes in the past week. So keep it going. Share it with your friends. Invite people to come on, check it out, subscribe. And we're also on YouTube as well, so you can check it there if you need to.
Absolutely. I really want to...
Go ahead.
Yeah, I really wanted to add, too. I really appreciate you guys for watching our show and letting us kind of screw up your Thursday just a little bit more before Friday. Getting ready. We're just getting you guys ready for the weekend, okay? That's what we're here to do. We're here to entertain, inform you, and get involved. You guys want to talk and join the conversation? Comment, like, subscribe. We really appreciate you guys. And keep on, like I said, like Stefan said, help us grow.
Yep, and we'll be happy to, like, if you want to have us share anything of yours, just let us know. If it's reasonable, then be happy to do so. So on top of that, in this week, we had another man who kind of hit big on money. He won $2 million after hitting 2 deers.
What?
I wish I was him. That doesn't happen to me. I just hit the deer and it runs away. I don't even get to eat it.
So what exactly happened here? What do you mean he hit deers and he got money? They were filled with money?
2 deers hit out, he hit them, and then the next day he won the lottery for $2 million.
And what did that have to do with hitting the deers?
Absolutely nothing, but it was just like he hit 2 deers and he got $1 million each.
Wow.
I just thought it was amusing.
Did he like find a lottery ticket or something?
I'm going to have to go back and look at that.
Well, talking about money, here's the thing, guys. I know everybody now, you know me, I like to talk about the stimmy, which everyone, saying the $1,400 is coming. Well, there's a website out there, guys, and I'm all about this making money from these weird kind of suspect websites.
OnlyFans?
No. Sleepjunkie.com, okay? This is a job where they're literally paying you to sleep on the job. They're looking for
narcoleptic. That's
funny. Yes. They're looking for a sleeping beauty that will test out mattresses. I don't know how many they might have you testing out really, skeevy hotel mattresses. I don't know if they're all Tempur-Pedic. I don't know if they're all like memory foam. You might be going to like, the dodgy hotel bedbug beds. I don't know. But check it out, guys. Sleepjunkie.com. You want to make $3,000 to sleep on mattresses? This might be for you.
I remember we went to a trashy motel room in Denver for a school project. I know it sounds weird. We had to do a photo shoot, basically centering around different emotions, and the emotion that we were working on was sadness or despair. And so we tried to make a scene of this guy in a hotel room who was addicted to drugs, which clearly is very sad. But when we got there, we didn't realize how bad of a motel it was. Like, literally, we just walked in and cockroaches ran out from underneath the bed.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh God.
No. Well, to add to that mattress experience or, hotel, we were staying in, my friends and I, we were going to Washington. We were going down, I don't know, the I-95. We ended up staying in this really scary Baltimore motel. And, not a lot of people know that Baltimore has some really, questionable areas. But I mean, the windows were like barricaded and, whatnot. And I don't know if anybody that's watching has ever seen the show American Horror Story, the season with Lady Gaga. Mm-hmm. Well, there was like creatures like sewed into the mattress. Well, whenever I go to a hotel, I like to check the mattresses out
for creatures.
And well, not for creatures. I like to, look for bed bugs or, hair or, burn marks from cigarettes or whatever. I'm
stains.
I like to examine where I'm going to sleep for the night. So when I did that, there literally was the mattress was sewed from one end to the other through the middle. And that's the first thing that went down to my mind is like American Horror Story. There's people sewed into the mattress.
Red rum.
Yes. But like I said, you guys want to make 3,000 quick ones? Sleepjunkie.com.
Send me that link because I'm more than qualified. On top of that, there was a story about a couple of drivers, healthcare workers that were caught in the snow. I'm not sure what state it was in, but they decided to use their time positively and, beneficially to everybody else. They started giving out vaccines to the other drivers who were stuck on the road with them.
Wow.
Apparently I guess they were transporting the vaccines to the clinic or whatever, but they started giving out vaccines to people who were driving.
As heroic as that sounds, I don't know how ethical that is. They're just randomly, hey, you guys want a vaccine? Like, did they buy the vaccines? Like, were they like theirs? Like, wow. Like,
I mean, I don't know.
Where are these heroes?
Bank robbers with, vaccines. I mean, it sounded legit.
So,
I don't know, man. I'm still not sure. Like, I'm definitely I think I'll get the vaccine, but I definitely took the cautious. Not that I even had a choice of getting it sooner than I am, but because of the waiting list. But I was like, yeah, let's let a few 100,000 people try it first before I go, because it's very, very fast how quickly they developed it.
According to the Biden administration, I've been seeing a lot of stuff now about rapid testing, and one of the big things he's promising is hopefully by summer he imagines millions more will be vaccinated. Like I think it was 70% I was reading of the country believes could be vaccinated by the summer. We don't know. The strain is evolving. This isn't going to be the end all be all cure.
This is his version of 2 weeks to stop the spread.
Yeah, I mean,
hopefully
he's got a lot. He's got a lot of pressure on him. It is what it is. No one ever asked for this. No one ever asked for this pandemic, as we know, but that's a big promise. Maybe years from down the line, we're going to find out how it was all caused and, what the intentions were for it to spread like this. But hopefully it's not anything like the movie 28 Days Later or Contagion, where this is we don't want that. No, but let's on a lighter topic. Let's get romantic, people. Let's get sensual. All right. So Valentine's Day is coming up around the corner. Okay, we're practically 2.5 weeks.
A romantic night alone.
Oh well, you know what? A Texas zoo, San Antonio, they're offering for $5 measly. Okay, you could name a cockroach or one of their rodents after one of your exes. So if you really want to pay homage to one of your exes and get them something real special,
you saw how quickly my face changed just then.
You name them after one of those cockroaches that were in your hotel room. $5. Oh, you can do it, people. So,
no,
I don't know. See, I'm normally not a sports fanatic, but it would be hard for me. I'm from Buffalo originally. For me not to say that I was rooting for the Buffalo Bills. This is the farthest they got in the playoffs in years, 24,
when was
25
the
years.
last time they did that? Like when we were like 9?
Very young, 94, I believe. But it's been like 24, 25 years.
Yeah.
And we got the Buccaneers and Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. So the Buffalo Bills didn't make it. Or Green Bay. It would have been interesting to see them two go head to head. But damn, like, I don't think I've ever been so mad in a damn game in years.
Did you really think they were going to win?
Their season this year? Oh my God.
I haven't watched it. I'm not like, I like football. I just don't really follow it.
Yeah, for those of you who watch football, you know what I'm talking about. They kind of let shit to bed this past game, but better luck next time. So good luck to the Buccaneers and Kansas City Chiefs. See, Tom Brady, they're saying this might be his retiring year, so there's a lot of conspiracies.
At this point,
still a great quarterback. I mean,
yeah.
After leaving the Patriots, they thought that was the end of his, Super Bowl life, and here he is playing for the Buccaneers.
He's got one of those bodies that can take a lot of punishment. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, you got the Chiefs who were already last year Super Bowl winners, so now they're going against Tom Brady. So this is like it's almost a blockbuster Super Bowl. So we're gonna definitely look out for that, for things to look out for in February. The Super Bowl.
Now, are they making it like a digital? Like, because I'm not a football fan, I don't know. But are they making it like a digital audience kind of thing? Like, or
I think they have like there is audience, but it's very limited. Yeah. Kind of like anything else. It's social distance, all that stuff, all that good stuff. Yeah. But yeah, man.
You mentioned Kansas. Not too far from there. Well, actually, never mind. That joke isn't going to work. But on another note,
good try, comedian. You're really entertaining the masses here.
Well, anyways, on another note, man, in Oklahoma, a mayor decides to make a official Bigfoot hunting season in hopes of bringing up tourism in the forest area that's in that area, or in their state. Apparently, that will help people to come by having an official Bigfoot season.
I mean, not for nothing. Like, if this guy really wants to get wild, he should I don't want to say sacrifice someone. I don't want to get banned for saying that, but
he's doing it to try and raise.
If nobody's seen anything, come up with something that's been seen and proven. So you're gonna get all these tourists looking for something that's never been spotted with a. Listen, back to our earlier broadcast when we asked
have a Bigfoot flat Earth broadcast.
Yes, we asked James Zeiss, one of our other special guests, if where is Bigfoot hiding if he is hiding, and he said the Bronx. I mean, that's probably more likely than seeing him in the woods somewhere.
I mean, there are some rough fellas down there. I mean, there's a lot of cool people too. But the city is rough right now.
The Bronx. I mean, Bigfoot. Let's get it twisted. It's probably a big ass monkey in the jungle somewhere, and we saw it, or it was a dude in a suit with a zip up back that you get from Party City.
I'm a man, not an animal.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Go all Elephant Man on him. On a more heartwarming note, there was a woman in the hospital in Turkey, and her dog actually waited outside the hospital until she was released. Loyally stayed there the entire time, so I just thought that was cute. And let's see. Yeah, I just like dogs.
Puppy dogs. Good stuff.
Puppy. And there was a lot of weird naked things going on this week.
Well, that's what happens when they cancel the pantsless, subway ride.
You do have a point.
People have to strip down.
You do have a point.
They got to free the nipple.
You would think they would have chosen a warmer month for the no pants subway ride.
This is for the brave. This is for the elite, Stefan. Only the elites can do it.
Plunging, so I mean,
I hope it's not like the episode.
Quick idea of what it's like. It's really refreshing when the pain of 1,000 needles and burning fire darts subsides and you can actually breathe again.
Refreshing or not, as a man, I feel like it's demasculating just a little bit. It's got to be like, oops.
Yeah, my mom, when I was a little kid, I had my friends over and I was trying to convince them to get in the pool. And I used to say being fat doesn't keep you warm. I was wrong because I'm freezing all the time now. And so we went swimming and they had just put the hose, filled it up with from the hose. So it was ice cold. And she goes, I bet it's all shriveled, isn't it? I'm like, you said that in front of my friends? I'm like, oh God.
Damn it, Stefan. Now I can't get that vision out of my mind.
I don't know. But there was a naked man in Florida who decided it might be a good idea to go for a stroll naked and steal a police car and then crash it.
Was he protesting something?
I don't know, but he crashed shortly thereafter and got arrested.
I give a lot of kudos to the police officers out there that have to restrain and subside some people that are butt naked, because it's got to be
mentally ill because they're moving.
It's got to be
unpredictable ways.
Really, strange for them to have to touch someone who's butt naked and be all on top of them, and sometimes like physically the person's resisting, so you're really getting deep in the nooks and crannies.
Oh
no! What was that?
Yeah, use your imagination.
Yeah, I know. So
it's yeah, they come across some interesting people, especially because they released all the people from the the mental facilities back in the 80s. A lot of them have ended up either in prison or on the street, and so quite often you add drugs or alcohol into that mixture as well, you're going to have some interesting interactions with people.
We were talking about this, homeless people and mental illness and stuff like that,
Yep.
Jumping back a little bit. But I was watching a documentary on YouTube about Skid Row and how, basically.
That's in LA, right?
Yeah. It's like right outside of the glitz and the glamour of LA. And it's like this big forgotten about place where it's literally a tent city. People are living there, living their lives on the street corners,
It's like that in Denver too.
Miles that you can see, and it's really tragic. And it's like, not getting into politics, I just wish that we all could open our eyes to places like this. This is not a humane thing to do. This is not what we do with our fellow brethren, our neighbors. And
it happens a lot, unfortunately. Like when I was younger, we were blessed to have the opportunity to go to Hawaii and to Oahu and to Maui. And on the dry side of the island on Oahu, they have a whole community that just lives on the beach because they're all people who don't have anywhere to live. They're poor, they're homeless, but they own a tent. And so they have a huge community, which sometimes bad things happen there, unfortunately. And then in Denver, where I lived for a year, now it's a little bit worse, I feel like, because originally they had an area of the city where everybody kind of camped out, like you were saying with Skid Row. But they passed a law saying you couldn't congregate and camp out in groups and stuff like that, which especially now is a good thing. But the problem is now they're just everywhere. And so when I went to visit last time, literally people just laying down in the middle of the sidewalk, right across it. What are you supposed to do with that?
Well, yeah, the whole thing with Skid Row is it's so out of control that, the government tried to step in and around Skid Row. The reason why it was created is all these government programs were put in that area, the food, the clothing shelters, public assistance type things. They were all in that area. Some of the warming stations were put in that area. And with Skid Row, it has, throughout the United States, it has the most homeless people in the country. And it's one of our, it's one of our biggest states. And it's just tragic because when it's tragic because you see when you're watching those Hollywood films, you're thinking about all those, mentally ill people and homeless people. And a lot of them too, when I was watching this documentary, I'll definitely comment the documentary in the comments for people that want to watch, is a lot of people went to LA with a dream. They went there with whatever couple bucks in their pocket, and they just said, you know what, I want to pursue, my dream of whatever it is, acting, modeling, music. And I'm going to go to auditions when I'm there. I don't care if I've lived in my car. But with the documentary, a lot of people went there with those intentions without like a real baseless plan. They didn't realize LA is extremely expensive. So the money that they did had went really quick. Yeah. They have to start selling their belongings in order to pay rent, or
it's like Las Vegas.
They had to, they lose their car, and it's a real tragedy. But a lot of people go there with a dream and things that they were raised on. Like the guy was saying, like, I always knew I would come to LA, but I never knew it was going to be like this. So
yeah,
that's not a depressing signal, but
it's kind of like New York City is similar in a way, though, because you have a lot of people who, myself included, up until the pandemic started, like my dream was to move to the city, even though I had no idea how I was going to afford that, because let's face it, the prices in the city, if they weren't bad enough before, like up until this all happened, they were getting to the point where it was like you couldn't live in the city. It's just not possible unless you have like a really, really good job. And
many roommates. Many roommates.
Or an Airbnb in your closet.
Hey, whatever you got to do to make the dream happen. So it's like the idea of like, bringing that back to dreams and like sacrifices that people make. I mean, it's really relative what you're willing to do to accomplish those dreams. And that's like, I don't know why I talked about Skid Row when I talk about dreams, but it was the idea of the mental health illness and the naked people running around, and it just reminded me of that.
Sometimes you run into that.
Mm-hmm. So dreams.
Yes.
The topic of the night. Everyone dreams, even you. We all dream. Many of us dream, and unknowingly, 3 to 6 times per night. Some between 5 to 20 minutes long. However, in these dreams, time doesn't flow like it does now. We could practically live out an entire week's worth of time in 20 minutes, But the problem is 95% of us, we don't remember the dreams as soon as we get out of bed.
Exactly. It's like, oh.
And there's two sides to the coin. You got people with sleeping disorders, whether it's insomnia, where these people basically, their dreams stem focused around their anxieties, they say. Mm-hmm. And people, unfortunately, like you, who is narcoleptic, I want to really ask you about this. They say, studies have said that people with narcolepsy, their dreams tend to be extremely bizarre, and they tend to be more in a negative realm. Your dreams are more nightmarish or bizarre. Is that something that's like a truth to you?
I wouldn't say nightmarish or bizarre. I would say a majority of my dreams I actually don't remember, like everybody else. I have a couple of recurring ones that they are like a mishmash of all the places in my life that were important, somehow combined into a combination of an airport, New York City subway, a city that I used to live in, and like all these things are all connected in like this, like what's that movie, Inception, where everything like doesn't make sense. It's all kind of like you walk through one door and you come out somewhere else. You're like, what am I, in an MC Escher painting or something, like the Infinity Staircase? And I've had that a number of times. I don't know. I haven't looked into the significance of it or anything like that, but it usually has some version of, those events. The other thing is I sleepwalk, for one. I sleep eat too. One time I woke up because I thought I was drinking water in my dream. Woke up drinking out of a pickle jar.
Whoa. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was pretty.
You got to be careful. You better put locks on the can. I don't want you drinking
I was tempted
paint or something.
Because I was like, I don't need to be drinking like weird crap.
I mean, yeah, I've sleptwalked in the past. It's not something I typically do, but I remember one time I had to go to the bathroom really bad. This is when I was younger. This is embarrassing, people. I had to go to the bathroom really bad. This is when I lived with my grandparents. I literally went into my grandma's room, and I almost like unzipped it on the bed in her room.
In the corner of my bedroom, and I woke up when it splashed my feet.
No, yeah, so like, yeah, it happens, but we all wonder why these things happen, and there's so many different interesting things that are fascinating about dreams that I really wanted to have this discussion tonight, because like, it's relative, it's something relatable, and for creative people, like me, dreams sometimes inspire me and give me content to run with. It's like I didn't even have to think of anything. I kind of dreamt it. I don't want to sound like that type of prestigious, like I just dreamt it. But it really, some of the most wild scenarios have happened in my dreams. And I'm like, how'd that, I would have never thought of it otherwise. Like we were saying, you open up one door and you don't know where the hell you are. I mean, it's a concept that I've definitely had.
There's actually a name for it, like also where you kind of are in that transition state. I'm probably going to say it wrong, so if I do, forgive me, but hypnagogic and hypnopoptic hallucinations, it might be the other way around, I'm not sure. But basically your body goes into a state of REM sleep, or your mind goes into a state of REM sleep before your body's totally there, or vice versa, where your mind is kind of like awake, but your body goes to sleep, like one or the other. And so for a split second or two, you'll kind of have a transition where whatever was in your dream kind of interacts with whatever's in front of you. And so like there have been times where people will like answer somebody who's not there and they'll be like, oh, okay, well, I'm awake now. There's and that's similar to sleep paralysis. Have you ever heard of that?
Oh yeah, it's terrifying.
Have you ever had it?
I had it once, and you never forget it. Yeah. You never really do.
It's ironically enough, the first time I had it was when I was getting a sleep exam for sleep apnea, before I even found out about having narcolepsy. And I all of a sudden I woke up, I couldn't move, I couldn't yell, couldn't scream, couldn't talk, couldn't do anything. And I freaked the hell out. And I finally was able to kind of like move and get going. And I got out there. I'm like, what the hell just happened? They're like, you were sleeping? I'm like, I was not sleeping. What did you do? They're like, no, dude, like these are your brainwaves. You were sleeping. I'm like, oh.
And you were aware through the whole thing. There's people out there that they, when they have sleep paralysis, like they have these like night terror type, hallucinations. Yeah, like they see things, they can't get out of the scenario. They're in excruciating pain. There's some people that they've been in surgeries and they've woke up midway through a surgery with these sort of sleep paralysis, and they feel every bit of pain.
The doctor probably doesn't believe them either.
Well, they can't move, they can't speak, they can't react, but they see the doctor cutting them open, they feel the pain. And can you imagine that? I mean, holy shit.
I mean, that's how it used to be for everybody when you went for surgery before they came up with like anesthetics. But
nobody wants to take that, like, that brave run. Yeah, I don't put me
aware of it.
Yeah, colonoscopy is one thing, but I mean, cutting you wide open.
Yeah.
Like open heart surgery while you feel it. I mean, that's a whole other. But like, there's so many different areas we can run with talking about dreams, whether it's sleep, whether it's the interpretations of dreams, whether it's the mental things and how other people feel dreams and experience dreams. Like, for example, you never think about it, but they say blind people with hearing impairments, they dream more. What's that?
Blind people with hearing impairments?
No, blind people or people with hearing impairments or people that have multiple impairments, they dream differently than those without it. Like, what does a blind person who's never saw before see in a dream?
I actually heard about this recently, that while they are blind, the retinas are actually still sensitive to photons. And so it's basically like your eyeballs are actually two extensions of your brain. They're not even separate organs. They're actually considered, like, your retina and your the optical nerve are extensions of your actual brain tissue coming out in order to sense light so that it can regulate your sleep patterns.
Yeah. I mean,
in addition, you get to see stuff, hopefully, but if you don't,
in your dreams, they say for the most part, a lot of the stuff is more object based, more sensory. You know what I mean? What they feel, what they touch. They do see things, they say, but it's spectrums of colors and sound waves and what they imagine the world to be. You know what I mean? Like what does a blind person see the world as? Maybe they see the sun and the sky as different colors and things that they interpret to be real.
I wonder if it's something similar to like synesthesia, where you basically, there's a phenomenon where people will experience sound as colors or tastes as smells, or somehow in their brain, like quite often after a brain injury, but sometimes people who are autistic or just, special, I guess, in this sense, having that ability, like they are able to like taste numbers or hear pictures, and like it's very weird, but like your brain, it kind of short circuits itself a little bit. But they think that like some of the people who are like idiot savants with numbers and stuff, they think that might have something to do with it. That
they see it in their dream. It's really important. It's really interesting too that that you even said that, because they say a lot of times the reason why we dream is the idea of memory, and basically it's like our brain telling us to remember things, and it's like a muscle. It's just like constantly. It's almost studying. So if you're studying the wrong things in regular life, chances are your dreams are going to be even more fucked up. But if you're someone
news all day, every day,
you're getting brain warped. And Andrew Matthews, you know what I dream about, man? I dream about you teaching me how to golf so that I could be Tiger Woods someday and, quit my day job. That's what I dream about, Andrew. Maybe.
Guantanamo.
I mean, he's probably better than me because,
Oh, of course. He's out there all the time.
He's out there all the time, no matter what's going on in the world, the world's falling apart. He's out there on the golf course. But, I think dreams are really important for us. You ever had those dreams where like it's so amazing that you kind of want to like go back to sleep?
Mm-hmm.
You woke up and you're like, God darn it! I woke up and things were just about to get good.
Yeah, teenage years a few times.
Oh, listen, I'm not talking about your wet dreams here. God damn it! No one gives a shit about
that. That was your own thing.
I'm talking about those dreams. Like it could be like a moment of pride and success, and you're having that conversation you've been dying to have with someone who's been either avoiding you or it just that idea. Like, for example, if you could dream about anything right now, like what is one thing, someone living, dead, be around by yourself, solo, what would that dream be? If you could have a dream where you can control the aspect of it. It's tough, isn't it?
No, I think that dream is more of like an aspiration, kind of like it kind of crosses over into like the other definition of dreams, like what you want out of your life as opposed to the actual dream waves. But it would be pretty similar. Like there would be a couple of things. One, I would not have to ever worry about money, and I could be traveling anywhere I want instantaneously. Be like, let's go to Machu Picchu. Boom. Like,
you know what? I mean, of course, in real life, like that would be a dream. Like someone cut me a good old check.
No, but I mean, like to be able to like teleport wherever the hell you want. Just like,
yeah. I mean, I don't want to sound like make this more humble because I don't want to do that. But my dreams, the ones that I really like, always want to go back to sleep on, are the dreams that's like, I finally got, I don't want to say the last laugh, but I finally got to, maybe it's just my personality. It's a lot of, and this also has a lot to do with how we dream. What's going on here? Playing back stuff?
Yeah,
is the way we interpret these dreams. So like for me, the dreams that I desire, want to go back to sleep for, are like ones where I'm having that final conversation or able to have a moment with someone that's impossible because they're no longer here. So I do think that the way we both dream is based a lot on what is going on in our mind a lot. And I have anxiety and I'm frustrated a lot about certain things. And I mean, of course, finance is always there. I think everyone in the 21st century always dreams about finding that suitcase on like the side of the road, like No Country for Old Men, just filled with $100 bills. But, at the same time.
Or do like a Scrooge McDuck where you kind of do like the high dive into a pool of money.
Exactly. I mean, we all probably think about it, but for the most part, our subconscious is always thinking about those conversations we have with people, and the all that could have been, like the things you should have said. You know, I don't know, like if you had ever had a relationship and you broke someone's heart and you're like, I really fucked up, or, you know, just moments like that kind of like gets you off the hook,
It's
where
like
you can
almost
make
having
good.
an opportunity to learn the lesson in retrospect.
Exactly. And I think that's important too, the way we dream and how we, you know, why we dream.
Yeah. Have you ever, this will depend on whether or not you, like, not just you, but anybody who's listening, whether or not you believe in afterlife or anything like that. I personally do. I don't know if ghosts come roaming or anything like that, but I do think dreams are unique in the sense that when my father passed away when I was 18, he was on a business trip, and shortly after, I had one of the most intense dreams I've ever had in my life. And basically, he came home. He was wearing the same shoe, and I remember the texture of his tie, the texture of his jacket, the way his cologne smelled, like stuff you don't normally remember in dreams. Like you don't usually smell stuff in dreams, like anything like that. And I remember him like, you know, it was all just a big misunderstanding. Everything's okay, but like it was very sad, but it brought me a lot of peace at the same time. And like I kind of think that. I think that was him visiting, you know, just kind of as a closure, because he died in another country. So, you know, it's I think dreams are very, very strange phenomena.
They are very strange phenomena, but if you think about it in a way, you know, what you just said is a lot of the researchers and the experts out there they say, why do we dream? You know, and a lot of the reasons why we dream is because of our personal wants, our wishes, you know, us trying to like relive memories or fix issues in our own life, you know. So if you think about it, you probably wanted those moments to last forever. I mean, you're just talking about an afterlife in a dream. Now, even for people that are non-believers, sometimes they see things in dreams that they normally wouldn't agree with, or normally wouldn't like follow. Like when you say that some people have bizarre dreams, that's when there's a whole nother element in there of like interpreting what they may mean. Now, people say that's like a whole pseudoscience and it's like, you can't interpret a dream. Well, for people that have been researching, you know, sleep phenomenons for years, a lot of these people suffer with the same anxieties and thoughts. You know, they're having dreams about, like, for example, my dreams are typically nightmares, and I don't know what it is. It's because we do dream every night, but my dreams are the ones I remember are the ones that kind of haunt me. And I
think that's for most people though too. Like when you have a really bad one, that one sticks with you.
You know, I have dreams that people die, people close to me, and
me too.
You know, and I'm telling you, there's been times where I wake up at like 2:00 in the morning. And I literally, you know, sit there and I cry. Like I'm emotionally hit. And the first thing I want to do is pick up the phone and call these people. And, you know, even though I know they're still here, these dreams hit me so hard. And then like when you look up research about why am I dreaming about this? Like, why is this person dying in this sort of way? And a lot of it is reflective on me personally. You know, they say a lot of people that have dreams, the interpretation of dreams of death is people's own depression, people's own regret. They want, and it could be something like, I want this person to be proud of me, or, you know, I'm self-conscious of where I am personally in life. So now if this person goes, they'll never see me reach my Mecca. They'll never see me reach the top of, you know, my Harith, you know. So it's interesting, you know, we say the interpretation of these dreams.
Yeah.
So
there's also, you know, going on that note, there's another level of it where getting into the real metaphysical here, but believing that it's kind of like a parallel universe or a gateway to another world.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
It's a cool science fiction movie. what you just said. I think that's a cool science fiction movie.
I don't
Like,
believe it.
I don't personally believe it. I've read theories out there that, you know, this is just one of many universes we're currently living. And I actually, believe it or not, I created an entire movie, A Line Between All Things, which was based on near-death experiences, which is a totally different topic, but it's very interesting. And near-death experience,
It's sad, though.
yeah, with near-death experiences, you know, these people have these whole moments in death where they see, feel, experience things, and universally all over the world, you know, researchers have shown these people all experience the same type of phenomena. They're seeing these same sort of beings. They're seeing these beams of light. They're feeling themselves die and come back. And, you know, they're clinically dead. Like, you know, videos of people drowning to death, or they were in a car accident and their heart stopped beating for an hour. And for some phenomenon, they come back to life. So in that way, with that, you know, movie, A Line Between All Things, and that near-death experience, that one split second, the main character lived parallel universes.
Oh, that all happened. It's been so long since I've seen it. That was the concept. It was a near-death experience.
Near-death experience where multiple things were going on, and it was all the things he wished he'd do. However, he found love on the other side. He found a whole new
stuck in that place.
Yeah, he didn't want to leave, and then when he came back, it was like, you know, whoa. But the same thing happens with, you know, with dreams, and I believe you were saying like the parallel universe. Like, when sometimes we dream things that are impossible. There's people that hate your guts, and in a dream, you guys are cordial and having fun. You're like, man, I wish it was really like that.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, but. You know,
I remember one of the creepiest dreams I had as a little kid, and I still remember it vividly because it was very bizarre. Like, so our cat died, and at the time I was still kind of processing what, you know, death was. I didn't really understand it. And so we buried the cat, and I had a dream that I went and dug up the cat, and then instead of the cat being there, the devil came out of the ground, and he was like this weird. I remember how he looked. It like had this weird like ET shaped head with like freaking like devil horns on top. And I'm like, I freaked out. Like, I woke up right after that, but I think I was like 5 or 6 years old. But that one stuck with me.
Talk about burying a cat. You were probably dreaming something from my life. I think I told you the story, but I think it's good for live.
Stories about cats that I don't want to know.
I dated a girl years ago. Let's talk about it. But I came home from school one day, or over to her house, and her parents were like, oh, you know, the cat died. Can you bury it out back? So here I am. It's the middle of winter, probably around February, and I'm digging a hole. And, you know, the box is deep. The ground is hard as hell. So I'm thinking, you know, let me just take the cat. Let me take the cat out of the box and put it in the shallow grave and throw some dirt on it, you know. Respect the, you know. So I took the cat out of the box, and when I'm throwing it in the ground and I start, like, you know, shoveling dirt on it, the cat was alive. And I was like, so like, here I am. I like take the cat out of the bag, and it's alive. It's like wanting to fucking kill me. You know, like, you know, and I have a bad I have a bad history with cats like mauling me. But at the same time, this cat I wasn't trying to I don't try to kill animals, okay? I love animals, you know. So I told the woman, I was like, you know, the cat's alive. It didn't die. Do you know what she told me? Bury it anyways.
What?
It's sick. I'm like, not burying your fucking cat. I said, I'm not doing that.
You can do it your damn self.
No, hell no. I wanted to take the cat out. And I was young at the time. I was like a child.
Yeah.
So, you know, the next day, the cat had been gone. So I you know, it's a tragic story. I don't know why I'm telling the viewers this, but I have dreams about damn cats and cats mauling me to death.
Well, I mean, that's a traumatic experience. That's something that would stick with you. I mean, it's usually a lot of times like people like they'll have recurring patterns in dreams because of either trauma or a really high intensity like good situation, like whether it be, you know, something really exciting or romantic or whatever it may be. the ones that are usually like charged with emotion are the ones that I find stick with me the most. But it's really interesting, like when some people have a dream about something that's gonna happen and then it actually does, and you're like, whoa.
You weren't expecting that, right?
Yeah. Be like,
well, that's
it's
interesting.
like, yeah, it
For a lot
creeps me out.
For a lot of people, like a lot of business people that have goals and set dreams, a lot of times their dreams are projections of what they want and like to achieve those dreams. And it's, in a way, it's as if they're lucid dreaming. And now, for everybody out there, lucid dreaming is basically where you're aware that you're dreaming. However, you can control where your dream goes.
How do you do that?
Listen, I know I've done it. I know I've been in dreams where I control it, but I do not know how
you control it. Like,
I've read many things about lucid dreams as far as people learning meditation techniques in their dreams where they can continue the dream, move forward. For all those audience members out there, if you've ever seen the movie Vanilla Sky, Vanilla Sky is my ultimate favorite movie.
It's with Tom Cruise, right?
Yes, it's one of my ultimate favorite movies. The Playboy, millionaire. He has it all, but he makes a terrible mistake, blah, 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 blah. And years down the line, he finds out he's in the future and that he is basically in a sleep suspended state and he's in a lucid dream that he's in control of. That movie is beautiful on so many levels, but in a dreamlike state, he's able to basically right his wrongs. He's able to have that bittersweet romance, even though in real life, it never happened. He never had the closure. He never had the love and affection. Yet, in his mind, that's all that matters. There's many people out there, and we're going to talk about it a little bit, but I saw an interview with Larry King, God rest his soul, who was actually an atheist. What we're doing right now, he was the king of it. Larry King was the king of media, podcast, interviews.
Yep.
Before Howard Stern, before Joe Rogan, Larry King was and is a legend. But one thing is, he never believed in, God and an afterlife. He believed in science. So one thing that he really did, and his hopes were that he could be frozen, and that years down the line, he could be reanimated, brought back to life.
Is that where they chop your head off and stick you in a cryo unit?
Yeah, apparently that's where Walt Disney is as well. But this same scenario, Larry King, is, he wanted to either go to a lucid dream type state, like in Vanilla Sky, or come back in the future. So it's like
the guy from Terminator, like Arnold Schwarzenegger in that one movie.
Yeah. But
no, Wesley Snipes. I'm sorry. Not even the same person.
Yeah. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's just interesting, fascinating thing of how powerful dreams are, that someone would, their leading goal in life, their belief, their religion in a way, is the hopes of science that they can control their dreams even in death. So, it's really interesting.
When I was on that note, like when I was a kid, I actually used to have this thing where I could get into a thought pattern where I'll go into a loop like a hamster on a wheel. And that's been a key of my whole life. But this is one that it's kind of amusing, but I would always be like, what if I'm actually still dreaming? What if I didn't wake up? What if all this that happened in my life is still a dream? And like I would just keep on going, all these different scenarios, like, well, what if I woke up and it's a dream within a dream?
Like Inception.
You nuts.
A dream within a dream within a dream.
Mm-hmm.
I always reference movies, people. So if you don't watch movies, you probably don't get half my references. But normally, if I'm referencing it, it's a good freaking movie. Inception. A dream within a dream within a dream. And each layer of the dream is like peeling back an onion. And time is suspended slower. And you're getting deeper in thought.
And it makes you cry.
It's an amazing movie. Christopher Nolan did it again. But that's a movie that's heavily around dreams as well. Just like Vanilla Sky. But two very different movies. One is more of a thriller and mystery. And the other one is, I feel like, a romance.
Now, there's also like an interesting correlation like between the dream state and then they've been doing a lot of research into like they've started doing a lot of research into psychedelic for like psychiatry and stuff like that under a controlled setting, not like at home. But they're like talking about some of the similarities in the two states and like how, you know, things can just kind of like that don't make sense in real life, just kind of, okay, that's happening. Just, I don't even know where I was going with that, but it's just kind of an interesting correlation.
Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about? It's like, what? We're trying to act like we're scientists, people. We're just two dumb fucks on a show. No, but on some real shit, though, there is people out there that they believe that their dreams tell the future. And it's like a phenomenon out there. Look online, and there's people out there that they believe that their dreams are telling, like they are the Terminator, that they can, you know, they can tell people what's going to happen with their life and read people's fortunes, and that their dreams basically are their destiny or other people's destiny. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but no. I mean, I think that I think that your own I think your own personal, if your dreams motivate you to do better, if your dreams like push you to get to the next level in this chapter of life, so be it. But for you to go around preaching and, you know, becoming your own philosopher on how other people's lives are going to go, like, yes, buy that stock, you're going to get cash.
What is going to happen in your life?
I mean, as silly as it is, it's as ridiculous as the guy slapping people with magic water and them passing out, or his magic coat. It's ludicrous.
So here's the thing. I am a big skeptic when it comes to stuff like that, because I've seen the ones where they're like, the power of Christ, and then bam, like fist pop them right in the forehead and they fall over. I've seen that style. I've actually experienced it once when I went to church, and I thought, no way. And I'm still kind of like, what happened? Where literally the person just went like this. They just went, boom, on my forehead, and I literally could not stay on my feet. I fell over. Wow. Now, whether it was psychological, whether it was God, whether it was whatever you want to believe, it was freaking weird, because I was like, I'm not falling. Oh, yep.
The power of Christ compels you.
Something compelled me, like along with gravity.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I will tell you a little story that has something to do with that. But Lex and I, one of our very first big dates, we went to a resort. We went to this Cove Haven romantic resort. You know, they have like the little glasses of, you know, that are like jacuzzi champagne glasses.
Oh,
and
that's what that picture's from?
They got heart-shaped, you know, jacuzzis and all types of sexy stuff. However, one of the shows that night was a hypnosis act. And this guy got on stage, and the guy is a very demanding, very stern, you know, hypnotist and performer. But the first thing he tells the audience, he gets volunteers from the audience to join him on stage. They come up on stage, and these are people trying to have fun. They're giggling, they're laughing. They're not serious, but they're up there. And he seriously tells them, follow my demands or I will remove you off stage. So he's telling you right off the jump, if you don't follow me, I'm going to kind of embarrass you and kick you off stage. So he gets all these people to do as he wants. And when he's telling them to do what he wants, the people kind of go with it. And I was watching like these people fall asleep kind of, and like this, like, but Alexis was doing it too. Yeah. So she was like, you know, afterwards I was like, what was going on over there? You were kind of leaning on that other guy. What was going on? Like, you're getting kind of close there.
That's what it was like, man. I'm not even kidding. Like, I just went.
And she told me after the show, she's like, well, if I didn't follow the guy's demands, like, I didn't want to get kicked off stage. So, like, she ended up winning this hypnosis, like, being the most, I guess, I don't want to say gullible, but they gave her a magic ball. This kind of looks like some sort of sex toy, but it's not. It's like a little orb. They actually gave her this. She was listening to the conversation, and she brought it in the room. But it's interesting, like, how the power of, like, influence can kind of control your mind. Now, do I know for a fact that everybody felt what she felt? No. But I've heard this same kind of experience from many people. Like, when not the magician, but a hypnotist and people putting you to sleep, and you believe in someone so much that you want to believe it.
Yeah.
Now, don't quote me on that, because maybe the
It's
power
like
of
placebo in some ways, but I think there's, like, I do believe in God, so who knows? Like, I don't know, but when I see somebody literally, they go, "Ah!"
all right. So all
That's
right,
not
let's cut
really-
you down right there. All right, God. If what what
Careful.
well, I'm not hating on anyone, but what would that do? Like, God could do anything. Why would God knock you out?
They call it the sleep of the Lord. There's reasons why they call
Like,
it that. Why
he
it
could do
happens,
anything.
I have no idea.
He could cure cancer. I mean, he could like destroy bad. But instead, he's like,
I
listen,
don't know.
I am going to make you pass out like you're in a WWF match.
Oh, you're still awake when it happens. It's the
Well,
worst.
I've seen videos out there where like the pastor's literally looks like he's about to drop kick his parishioners, and they're like falling through decks of chairs, like they're flopping like into the baptism pool. Like,
Yeah.
listen, this
was
isn't
a
an
little bit more
anti-religion.
controlled. Like, they thought it might be a possibility. They had somebody there to catch you lay down. Like, it wasn't like a big sensational thing like you see on TV. It was very quiet and just like it wasn't expected of you or anything like that. If it happened, it happened. Whatever. It was very weird. It was peaceful, but yeah, definitely weird.
So, have you ever has your dreams ever influenced your life decisions? Like things that you ended up doing because your dream kind of pushed you towards it?
If I did, I'm not sure.
No.
A lot of my dreams have been kind of like after the fact sort of thing, as opposed to peremptory or whatever you call it. I don't know. Have you?
I think a lot of my dreams that I do remember, they do make you they make you think. Like I said, I have more of nightmares.
Yeah.
Nightmares caused by, and they say like nightmares are caused by your personal stress, fear, your emotional, your disconnected things. Yeah, and like when you have these nightmares, it kind of brings things back. And sometimes I just have like scary nightmares, and I'm like, whoa, that was terrifying. And it has nothing to do with me or anyone else. But I think sometimes those fears help me kind of like push myself, because a lot of them, like, they're self-conscious, like failure, being on stage butt naked in front of a crowd or something, so it's going to make you like, oh,
I've never had that one yet.
Well, if I'm going to be butt naked on a crowd, I better go work out and make myself look damn sexy. If I'm going to, you know what I mean? Like, oh, like you go on a date and you
let it all hang out.
You swipe your card and it declines. Well, I better do some overtime then and get some money. Those type of, they're silly, but they do lead you to like do better, or like just the idea of like not being taken seriously in, the film industry. For years, we were looked at as the newbies and we're making micro budget films, and you guys, you're trying too hard. But at the same time, that push and those dreams of being criticized, because it was happening in real life. So when you're seeing it in a dream, it's kind of like saying like, oh, come on, man, this guy's taunting me. It made you kind of.
It's like psychics too, like on another, not quite the same level, but I don't know if I mentioned this on one of the previous episodes or not, but like I went to a psychic one time when I was in, I was on my externship from the culinary. I was down in Brooklyn is where I was living at the time, in Bensonhurst. And at the subway station where I got off on 18th and Benson, there was like one of those glowing, like the psychic signs up on the second floor. So I was like, let me go test this broad out. And so I go up there and I don't give her anything that I don't think I did. Like, I mean, I gave her money, but like I didn't give her any like major hints unless it was subconscious. But she started saying some stuff, and at the time I walked out there like, oh, she's a hack. Because she was telling me like, I was going to school to be a chef, mind you, and I thought at that time photography hadn't even entered the picture yet. It would about a month later. But she's like, I see you working in magazines, getting published, all of which has happened in the meantime. Not as consistently as I may like all the time, but it has happened. And, I've done a couple of things that I'm pretty damn proud of. But it's funny though, because I looked back and I was like, oh wow, she did say that.
Wow.
So it wasn't a dream, but because I'm usually like psychic, really. Yeah.
I find it, you always hear these mystery stories, but I don't know why she would have said that. But at the same time, you got to think of the philosophy of, I don't want to say she knows gullible people when she sees them, but they know.
Even so, like I see you working
generals.
at a news company. I'm like, well, I work at Time Life right now as a cook. She's like, no, actually in the publishing end of it. I'm like,
Wow.
hey,
Well, maybe, but those people, like, it's crazy, but they look at people and they see stereotypes sometimes.
yeah.
Not just from them, but I mean, the way they view their customers. So possibly they looked at you, your glasses look sophisticated. You're pretty intellectual. I don't know much about you, but let me read your face. You look at my face, what do you see? Don't say it. I'm
That'll
hot.
do, don't care. That'll do.
No. No, but I'm saying, like,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
at the same time, you never, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but I do believe it's a farce.
I do. I generally do too, but like that one was weird. That one,
I believe it. I believe they're playing on people's emotions, and
Now, what are your thoughts on meditation and the similarity between that and dreaming?
well, the thing is with meditation is, unlike dreaming, you're in control of where this destination takes you in a way. So in a way, it's a lucid dream, but it's not really a dream. It's, to me, meditation is supposed to be the clarity of mind. So to me, a dream is unlike that because you're seeing all types of things. A lucid dream, you're controlling things and you're manipulating things and you're feeling things you want. A lot of things.
You're trying to, though, because I've been in a state of meditation before. Like I used to meditate regularly. I haven't really recently. I would like to get back into it. I just gotta start doing it instead of saying it. But I used to meditate a lot, and I remember there were a few times where it wasn't like quite like a lucid dream, because the only thing that I was really controlling was the thought that I'm going to accept whatever thoughts come in my mind and observe them and let them go.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is, when you do that, some weird crap goes in your mind, and if you start focusing on that, you're like, next thing you know, you're practically daydreaming and you're not meditating anymore. So like that's the struggle with that. But it's just similar to how weird they get. Well,
there's this really famous book out there that a lot of people have probably seen called The Spirit. Spirit. I might have to misquote that, but in the book, basically, it's like realization. If you believe it, or not the spirit, the secret. Sorry.
Oh, the secret. Yeah.
The secret. It's the idea that you believe it, you are it, you control it. This manifestation. And these are like, in a way, they're lucid dreams, but they're not. They're like, I'm going to tell myself by the end of the year, I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to be a millionaire. I will get this degree, and I will do everything to get this degree. You're telling yourself you will succeed, and you're going to do everything to succeed, and you're believing it. You're literally talking yourself into believing it. And, a lot of these things, I think, if you're like that person and your mindset is to believe in it, over time, even your dreams will kind of relate. I mean, Think about it. During the most exciting times of your life, the most successful times of your life, typically the dreams that you have and the things that go on during that time period are very relatable. It's like, oh, shit, I'm stressed out, but I'm going towards this goal.
Now, whether or not it's you actually like pulling it from the universe with your subconscious force, or whether it's you setting yourself up to believe something so hard that it actually comes true, or it's a happy coincidence, or whatever the case may be, like it is something that a lot of people do experience, but it's like, for example, my mom, every time we go somewhere, she always gets a parking spot right up front. And she like follows that same thing where she's like, I just say, please let me get this spot, or let me get a spot, and then just lets it go. And she's like, if I keep on thinking about it, I never find the damn spot. But if I just let it go, I'll find it. And every single time she does, meanwhile, I'm parking out in the ass end of the parking lot. I think the mind is very powerful. You don't know how powerful it is, especially because now they're starting like with quantum computing and everything. Like, how does that apply to what goes on in your head? In addition to everything else, like, is there any kind of quantum? That's a whole realm that I'm not even qualified to speak about. But yeah, it's interesting stuff.
I mean, there's, like I said, we were talking before about how different realities, dimensions, to the other side of the coin type of thing. And I really believe, that's a possibility. It's a wishful thinking, but you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Have you ever read the book, The Alchemist?
No.
It's by Paulo Coelho. I think it's like Coehlio. It's some weird. He's from South America somewhere. He writes it in the form of almost like a children's book or a teenager book, like very simple, parable-like kind of stories. And it's about this kid who he dreamed. Speaking on dreams, actually, that's kind of funny. He has a dream that there is a treasure buried beneath this church in another country that he has to go to. And so he goes on this, he's a shepherd boy, and he sells his sheep and he goes on this journey to follow his dream, and he ends up becoming an alchemist. And there's a lot of metaphors and everything like that about it, but it goes into like deciding what you want to do for your life, following your dreams, and then also just, having one of the things that they always talk about is like when you start getting closer to that thing that you dream so hard about, that you want so bad, is when the obstacles start popping up. And I've noticed that myself, like when I start moving in the right direction in my own personal life, things end up popping up in the way to kind of derail it. And you can either keep going and get to that place where you want to be, or you can get knocked off course and be like, nah.
And those are correcting statements. And
yeah.
You wish it, you see it, you believe it, you go for it. So we're having a couple technical difficulties with our special guest, but people don't fray. He will be here shortly, hopefully, and we'll continue the conversation in the meantime. But yeah, it's been an interesting conversation, to say the least. I know that right now we all need to kind of like defrag a little bit, meditate, and believe in the dreams that we want to achieve, because we all have goals, yet a lot of us are afraid to make those changes. Yeah. We're afraid to make life changes to achieve those goals. So now
breaking out of mediocrity is not easy because it's comfortable.
Yeah. So
now, are we online with him, or?
There's a technical error here.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Anybody else have any thoughts on dreams that were really interesting in your life? Like anything, you can put it in the comments below. Like, what's the craziest dream you've ever had, or the most impactful dream, or what's something?
There's been a lot of comments actually so far tonight. I don't know if you're checking them out, but
I've seen a few of them. Yeah.
Yeah, there's been people talking about fears, and we were talking to
our grandfather who passed, and
yeah, there's a lot of when we were originally talking about Skid Row. Roseanne Sharita was saying how her mother actually would feed a lot of these people over there. We had a lot from Andrew Matthews tonight, Ashley Friedel, Astral Projection.
If that's possible, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I don't know how you do it, but it sounds pretty cool.
Seems pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's I think that's something that people also now, like with, on a slightly more serious topic, like with Skid Row and everything else, like it's not just Skid Row now. Like you have people all over the place who are struggling, people from all races, all classes, all brackets of society right now. We're all in this kind of chaotic year together, and chances are over the next year or so, at one point or another, you're going to find yourself down on your luck, and you're going to need help, whether it's financial or emotional or whatever, from somebody else. And I've been asked a few times recently by like a couple of people here in town who, you know, they're homeless, or, you know, maybe they're buying drugs. I have no idea. And I don't really have any money to give them, but I feel like at this point, it's like, if I want someone if I were to reach out for help for someone, I feel like the least I can do is give this person like 50 cents or whatever. And it's like not all the time, but, you know, considering generosity in these times right now, because there's a lot of people are struggling.
I totally agree.
Yeah, I think it makes a difference.
It's been an interesting year. But listen, people, I want to thank you guys all for watching. I know that we're kind of we're waiting on the other our guest, but we're going to do you guys a favor. We're going to actually end the show right now.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we'll pick up another time. I mean, it's an hour and 10 minutes in. We don't want to have you guys wait too much longer. Love you guys. We'll be bigger, stronger next time.
Men better.